Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah ma ba'd. The question is asking about E numbers. Are we allowed to eat food with E numbers in them? Now, these E numbers are additives and they're preservatives and they are processed ingredients. So you have to be very careful as to what they are. I mean, we're not talking about halal or haram in the sense of whether you are allowed to eat them or not. We're just talking about, in a sense, yeah, halal, haram, but even ethically, I mean, is it something that you want to consume? If you've got a product that's got a lot of E numbers, then you have to then understand that there's a lot of processed food and ingredients that have gone in to making that thing that you're about to eat. So you should be very careful of that. And the Messenger of Allah has told us, "La darar wa la dirar." If there is something which is harmful, then there should be no reciprocating of that or, cooperating in that. But is it permissible or not? Now, we don't know what's in them. If it says suitable for suitable vegetarians, if I can get my words out, if it says for suitable vegetarians, then it's permissible. But here, I think we do need to talk about the issue of istihaalah. Istihaalah. Now, there are two things. There's istihaalah and there's istihlak. Istihlak, let's talk about that one first. You've got a product, you've got an ingredient, and it is completely destroyed through the process of making the thing that you're trying to make. Okay, so for example, when a person makes bread, the alcohol which comes out of fermentation when the bread is being made is there's nothing left by the time the bread comes out or when the person is about to consume the bread. This is known as istihlak. Istihaalah is when one thing is there and it changes its state, but it remains there. So for example, this is now a common thing that people are talking about when it comes to gelatin, pork gelatin, beef gelatin, which is not halal, from non-Muslims, etc. Are we allowed to eat it? Is it istihaalah or is it istihlak? If it is istihlak, then that takes one ruling. If it is istihaalah, then it takes another ruling. Now, most of gelatin and things like that is istihaalah from the best of my knowledge. The majority of the ulama have said if the thing is najis and then in istihaalah the thing remains and there's no istihlak, then it remains najis and it is haram for a person to eat. And this is a question that I asked directed to our Sheikh Salih Shatri. He said it's not permissible. Pork gelatin, not allowed. Beef gelatin, which has not been slaughtered correctly, not allowed. Why? Because the istihaalah, the thing is still there. The Hanafis and the Malikis have said, listen, if it started off as something which is impure, but the state of it has changed, such as if an animal falls into a lake and then, it crystallizes, that's meta, you can't eat it, but then after a period of time it crystallizes and there's salt that comes out of that lake or whatever it might be, then you can eat that salt. It's well known from the Hanafi madhab and it's also well known from the Maliki madhab, and there's also a view from the Hanabila in this. This is known as istihaalah. I would say if there are halal alternatives, then obviously if there are halal alternatives, then avoid it. Be safer. And for me, personally, I would say that these things are not permissible as long as the ayn, meaning the thing itself, remains. Even if the formation of it or the appearance of it has changed, as long as the najasa is there, then it is najis. Istihlak, however, if the thing has completely gone and evaporated and is no longer there, then inshallah that thing is permissible. So this is a discussion which comes into E numbers now, because I think in certain E numbers they use, I'm not sure, I think, this is what I've heard, crushed insects and things like that. I'm not sure if that's the case. If that's actually the case, so please don't quote me on that. But if that's the case, then you have to look, is it istihlak or is it istihaalah? And with that, that's why there is a discussion that needs to be made. However, generally speaking, the Muslim must be careful as to what he consumes. A lot of E numbers are not good because they're preserved, processed foods for preservatives. But if it says suitable for vegetarians, then inshallah, there should be nothing wrong with that. If it doesn't, then you have to investigate, is it istihaalah or is it istihlak? We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He gives us the best of rizq and that He gives us what is wholesome and tayyib and nourishment for not only our bodies but for our souls. Wallahu a'lam. Sallallahu ala nabiyyina.